This is going to be Miss Lily's going home video. So I want you to use these videos to look back on so that you can practice all her behaviors. You'll know how to do the hand cues and to keep working with her. When you're doing training, try to incorporate the training into everyday life. So asking her to wait before she goes through a door, having her sit or down, maybe before you pick her up or before you play with a toy. But just the idea, we call it nothing in life is free. So she needs to do something to get something. So she seems like she's grown up so much to me in these couple of weeks. She seemed like such a little tiny thing when she got here. And she is so focused now. Her potty training's going great. I wouldn't just leave her free. It definitely needs to be on a schedule and treating her and giving her feedback. But overall, she is doing great. If you go stand next to a bell, she will whack it with all her might. So be ready for that. The first few times you can reward it, but I would even walk outside to reward it. And then just after maybe a day of rewarding her for hitting the bells, then only reward her when she hits the bells and you walk outside with her, and when she goes potty, that's when she gets the treat. So she'll just truly start to make that association. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on her behaviors. Whenever you're giving her a cue, I want you to say the word first and then hand signal second. Okay, so it would look like sit, palm up, okay? When we're treating her, we want to keep the treat small, so something you can tear. Even though that one's really small, I want something I can tear into little bitty pieces. You can also be using her dog food when you're training, so I would do a mixture. In my little treat pouch here, I have a mixture that's probably 90% her kibble, right? And so you don't need to put all that in her food devices. You could save part of it for training, and then part of it that she's working out of the food, the little toys like the Kong wobbler or the tricky treat ball. Am I talking about you? Good girl. She's like, oh, maybe we're training. I would not even feed her out of a bowl, okay? Not for a while. Use your toys. That is time that is keeping her brain busy, her body busy. Good girl. I'm gonna acknowledge her sitting and being so sweet and patient, right? She could be jumping on me. She could be barking at me. She could be pulling my pant legs, anything like that. But she came up and she sat and looked at me. So make sure that you acknowledge that type of behavior too, that you acknowledge her just being calm and still and sweet and throwing good behaviors at you, whether you ask for them or not, because that's truly where we want to get, is that she will just sit, right? She'll just do it down. She'll just do it without you even asking, because that's part of her behavior repertoire. So, all right. So let's start out with watch me. Watch me is eye contact on cue. So the idea is if she's looking at me, she's thinking about me. So Lily, watch me. Yes, good. She gets something right, I can say yes, and then treat. So my yes is marking it, it's telling her she did the right behavior. So Lily, watch me. Yes. One thing I'll say on the watch me, she does not have to sit or lay down or anything. Literally, she can be standing there and doing a watch me. She's sitting and laying down because we've worked on that a ton. So those kind of come with the behaviors, but since she laid down, I'll ask, watch me. Yes. So the hand signal here is my fist to my chin, right here. That's the cue. So I say the word watch me, and the second, I give the hand cue. Right now I'm rewarding just because we're starting up, and when she gets home, reward, okay? Reward each behavior so that she has consistency and she understands that you also have the training, right? And you will also give her good feedback for her training. But as she's getting better, you can start to combine several behaviors for one reward. And then we also want to be rewarding with what we call life reward. So a life reward is maybe she does watch me, and I say, good girl, you're so smart. What is a good girl? Here she is. Right, so I could praise her, I could scratch her, I could throw a toy for her, I could pick her up. All those things are rewards. So as you're working with her, start having her, ask her to do stuff and then give any type of reward to her. In the beginning though, sorry, I may have said that wrong. In the beginning, food. If she gets better, life rewards. Okay, so Lily, we'll go ahead and do sit if I can get her to not sit. Sit. Good girl, good girl. Lily, sit. Very nice. Lily, sit. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Good. So now I'm going to ask for a sit and watch me. Lily, sit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Also have to remember to chew. That was a little bit bigger treat. You okay? Oh, give me that. Good. Lily. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Watch me. Yes. Make sure I give her a little treat that time. This time. There we go. Okay. So wait, watch me. Sit. Now we'll go to down. Lily, down. Good girl. Good girl. Lily. Down. Yes. I bent over that time. Our goal for down is to get where I can just stand up straight and do it down like that I don't actually have to bend all the way over. So I'm gonna ask her to do it again. I'm gonna try to do it how I would like it at the end. We'll see if she gets it, but if she doesn't, I'll cue her a little more. So we'll see. Okay, Lily. Good girl, Lily. Sit. Good girl. Down. Yes, perfect. That is what we want it to look like. Right, where the cue is just this, but I don't know if you could tell from the video, she was like, I don't know, it was a little wiggly, because she's just trying to figure out if that means the same thing as when I come down here. Okay, she did great, so I'm gonna reward it. And then last one, let's do our stand. So Lily, sit, good girl, stand, yes. Standing is just coming up on the back legs there, so it's literally going from a sit or down into a stand. Good girl. This is so chewy. All right, watch me. Sit, down, and you can look down with your eyes. Okay, so down, look down, and then stand. So right now I'm doing stand up here. Lily's little bitty girl here, so I'm gonna come down low. Good girl. Perfect. I'm looking at her hips. Okay, when those hips come all the way up, that's when I want to tell her yes or praise her and tell her good girl. And I'm gonna do just a little combo and we will be done with our first video. Ready? Watch me. Yes. Okay, so I actually really love that because she did not sit. Which basically that means like she's truly starting to understand that watch me doesn't mean sit. Watch me means eye contact. She's like, I'll sit. Good girl. Stand. Good girl. Down. Down. Good. Oh, she's a good girl. Get a little scratch. Watch me. Good girl, Lily. Lily, stand. Stand. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. She is doing great. I guess one last thing as you're doing your watch me, sit down, stand, is you can also have her hold it, right? So let her sit and let her hold it. You could take a couple little steps if you wanted to. And then ask for the next behavior. So you don't need to do rapid fire, right? Sit down, sit, stand. You could eventually, but let her hold each position, right? So a little bit longer. Let her hold the down for a few seconds, then come into the stand and just, you can let her build up the time on each behavior. So she's so good. Good. Okay.